Yes. I'm going to talk about the benefits of travel. And here is a question about the definition of travel. Okay. Yes, I'm going to define travel. In fact, there is a well-known statement from Danny Kaye, who says that travel is a kind of is means to travel means to take a journey into yourself. In fact, travel is an inevitable activity in people's life. People have to travel for different purposes, for example, for education, business, or for pleasure. And as people travel, they're exposed to different people, different cultures and lifestyles. And so these processes help them to get some advantages, to bring some advantages in their lives. And I'm going to talk about these advantages. There is a research which is done in 2013 by German researchers who investigated the psychological effects of traveling on people's personality. There are two groups of students. Half of them were studying at their home, and the other half were studying abroad in a foreign country. And after one semester, there was the test, personality test, to investigate their changes of their personality. The results shows that travel has some advantages in their personality, some improvement in their personality, and it alters their personality in 5 overarching domains such as emotion, extroversion, agreeableness, consciousness, and openness to new experiences. Yeah, and I'm going to talk about 10 main points of disadvantages of traveling. The first one is about travel helps us to be more spontaneous. It means that it is clear that in every travel we cannot do everything according to our plan. Surely some unexpected events will happen. And in travel, we try to adjust ourselves to these new events, and this trying of being flexible help us to be more spontaneous in the future. And the second one is that by traveling, it can help us to be less judgmental of others. There is a psychological trait which is called as xenophobia, which means that people try to avoid and also dislike of people who are different from themselves. And travel is a kind of practicing to break such habits. As Mark Twain said, travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. And these many of our people need it surely on these accounts. And the third one is you will be better able to think on your feet. Traveling typically comes with difficulties, and you will learn how to adapt in order to make it work. Additionally, by learning how people in different cultures deal with various problems, it can actually make you a better problem solver as well. And also another one, the fourth one is that by traveling we can be more outgoing or sociable. Because in travel we have to deal with different people, for example, flight attendants or hotel workers or taxi driver. we are forced to have some contacts with them, and this help us to become makes it help us to become easier to make some conversation with people. And the fifth one is that your relationship will become more meaningful because of the extension of our relationship with other people. We will learn to make some priority, to put some priority on our relationships and put more importance on the ones who are most important to us. And we can learn to don't stress on unimportant things and to be more optimistic. Because when we become familiar with how big the world is and become aware of the people with different points of views, we learn that it's not plausible to focus on unimportant things. And the eighth one is that we can be more creative because in travel we will immerse ourselves in new landscapes, new architecture, and new works of art. And so they allow us to be to have more creative approaches in our life. Whether it comes to our gardening, decorating our house, or taking on new challenges in the workplace. And the next one is that it helps us to improve our comfort zone. In the same way as travel makes us to be more outgoing by forcing us to have more contacts with others, traveling can also help us to expose to new things that might normally have an aversion to. For example, some people hate of large crowds or public transportations. So traveling can help us to overcome such problems. And the last one, or the most important one, is that putting all these priorities together, by traveling, we can be more and we can be a more interesting person because we have new experiences, new outlooks, and we have lots of things to talk about with people. So we can talk about our experiences in travels rather than talking about day-to-day routines. So it makes us to be more and have a more interesting personality. As finished.